am sitting in the last, well, next to the last handicap space here. That's how I know when the one line's here because they get here at 5 a.m. And yet the space next to me is no longer a parking space because they blocked it out because the one corner of it goes into pedestrian walkway. Not even the part where the car's in. I swear, it's just moronic. And if I park there, even if they're out of spaces, I'll get a nice funky orange sticker on the side of my window. You see, Friday should be a day that you're looking forward to the weekend, but sadly I'm not because I know in my heart of hearts they're not going to cancel tomorrow because, and to me, I'm just trying to remember, sometime, before the fact that, you know, we were running people to death in workhouses that, everyone had to work 6 days a week mandatory. It just freaks me out. It's like, how is this even allowed in 21st century America? But that's just me. At least, compared to what those guys were doing, my work's pretty menial. But just the fact that they can suck 8 or 9 hours of your day, of a day of yours away at whim to make up for their, inadequacies just blows my mind. Um, yeah, not much going on I can hear of. I know there's some filming dates that have been put out there. I'm going to look into them. There wasn't much going on this week. They didn't do any location filming anywhere anyone knows of. Um, but hell, it was a hell of a week last week, though, because, Neil Patrick Harris being on set. That's a name you never thought you'd hear, associated with Doctor Who, and I'm just glad that, it did happen, and it's going to happen, because we haven't seen the finished product yet. Um, and I'm loving how everybody is still jumping up and down. Mel's coming back. Mel's coming back. It's like, have you seen a picture of Mel Bush in costume? Or Bonnie Langford? No. Have you seen a picture? Have you seen any pictures of her on set? No. So until I see that, then no. I'm because centenary special maybe, but I want to see proof. Before I start running off at the mouth and saying, because somebody said, how about Mel? She's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. That's a couple pieces of dialogue. And by the way, they could have done that just to throw you off. They've done stuff like that before. Especially that RTD character because, that's how he works. He's him and Moffat were masters of misdirection. Wait a minute. Exactly. I want to see proof before I start running off at the mouth and screaming, Mel Bush is back. And if so, where's Carol Ann Ford? See, that's what I want to see. It's like nothing against Bonnie Langford, but when the hell is that going to happen? About 5 minutes after she's gone, and then they'll have to do a recreation of her, or a face capture like they do for Star Wars. It's a good read. Yeah, you'll enjoy that, Mark. Yeah, RTD's The Writer's Tale. It was very, very insightful. You're going to find out a lot of nifty things. All right, one I'm going to spoil you on right off the bat is most people know this one, but if you remember in Planet of the Dead, I think it was, it's the one with the desert planet and Christina D'Souza and all that, and I think it was Michelle Ryan played her, and the bus is all smashed in right at the top. The reason that was, it had nothing to do with a hyperspatial tunnel. It was what they shipped an entire bus out to that country, and I can't remember what. I don't think it was Tunisia, but maybe it was. And when the double decker bus got there, they were loading it off the thing, and somebody actually dropped a shipping container on the top of it, a full sized shipping container. So they had to write in that bit about getting beat up through the hyperspace tunnel to cover for the fact that the full size yeah, it was something like that. It was a blind crate loader, exactly. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's the top of it was smashed in and beat up. But RTD, like I said, it would have cost them, I can't remember, a stack of cash they didn't have to send another double decker bus because they're gonna have to pay for the one they damaged. So they just went with that. Also, you're getting a mention of Penny Carter, who was supposed to be the companion for Series 4. But then Catherine Tate decided she wanted to come back, and that's what happened to that. So, I mean, there's a billion things in there you're going to find out. I'm not going to tell you them all yet. Just a couple examples of things. Lots of great, insightful stuff in that book. I'm seriously hoping that, they're going to bring, Carole Ann Ford in for the centenary special. That's what I'm really hoping, is they're saving it for a big wow surprise. And yes, I've seen the ending episode. Well, it may not be the ending episode for Obi-Wan Kenobi. They are seriously talking about doing a second series of it. I don't know if it's been greenlit or not. I have to double check that. There's folks saying it's been greenlit. I know Ewan McGregor wants to do another one. Hayden Christensen wants to do another one. But I have one gripe. Wow. So Ben Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano are in the I cut off part of Vader's helmet club. That it's like, I didn't like that the first time they did it in that one animated series. I think that was Star Wars Rebels. It's like, here's the thing. If Obi-Wan was all this mighty powerful then, why didn't he just kill Vader then? Well, John Williams came out of retirement to do the music for Obi-Wan, if I remember right. He was pretty much, done, Oh yeah, people running around shouting that Murray Gold was coming back, and it's like, that was never confirmed, and I think that was put out around April 1st. So it might have just been a bad April Fool's joke. But there was people running around believing it, and I was like, look, one of the things I can't stand that also happened in the past few years was everybody who had anything to do with Chibnall's Doctor Who suddenly became this demonized creature. Like, all the episodes are bad, even though Chibnall didn't write all of them. Jodie was never the Doctor, never captured the essence of the Doctor, and I'm like, who the hell are you to say what the essence of the Doctor is? You're talking about, how many different facets of the same person. But then they started picking on Wake. Oh, great. It's on the tip of my mind. I feel bad. I literally had his name right here. But then they start picking on the composer for his music, Segan Akinola. It's like, his music was all on. I don't have any complaints about the music for the last few years. Yet, you'll have everybody making these sleight of hand remarks about how his music just wasn't memorable and things like. I'm like, what? Ugh. So there's a lot of Murray Gold crap I couldn't name if you named it off. Exactly. I think he did a great job. The problem is everybody got so used to Murray Gold because he'd been there so many years. But then also there's, like I said, poor Segan Akinola has been lumped in with all the other NMD nonsense. Exactly. And the problem is, the day you start putting limits on the showrunners, I died laughing because somebody brought this up in a podcast a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, and then you're going to complain about the lack of range. You're going to complain about it's getting, too monotonous. Yet if they go into new territory, you throw a fit. Or if they did dare, shall I say, invent new territory, you throw a fit, unless it's Stephen Moffat or what you call RTD doing it, because they did it a lot. Reinvented the canon. Like one of the ones I can't stand more than anything. And like I said, I don't go on about it, but I figure I'd let you know. TARDISes are grown. It's a freaking piece of machinery. It's not a tree. And because of the fact that the TARDISes can be sentient, doesn't mean they have to be organic. Or I don't see, Gallifreyans using organic technology in any capacity, yet all of a sudden TARDISes are grown. I couldn't stand that. But RTD was allowed to slide on that because he was RTD. You see, it's like, and Moffat did that a lot, shoehorning in another doctor rather than using Paul McGann as the war doctor. I don't see him playing a warrior or some stupid nonsense like that. Just like I said, so there's other showrunners that have done things to peeve me off, but I've never said, we must go forth to the village forum and build the gallows, or maybe even a pyre. We have not yet decided whether they should be hanged or burned at the stake. Guillotining would be too merciful. See, I don't say nonsense like that. Ugh. I think I had an Alan Rickman moment. Oh, well. Um, yeah, I got to get going too, kind of thing. Thank you for saying something. I just looked at the clock. I got to run inside. So, everybody, please take care of yourselves and each other. Be kind, be calm, be safe, and enjoy the rest of your day. And hopefully, we'll see you all in the future. Take care, everyone.